In the previous lesson, we saw how we can create parametric furniture or bench in this case using geometry nodes in Blender. And so we continue to discover the various possibilities and functionalities of geometry nodes that can be applied in product design, furniture design, architecture, and jewelry design, and much, much more. So here we distributed instances on a surface, and here we, based from a grid and a structure, we then created some framing like mullions and some panels inside which are made of glass, and then we also applied floors using booleans. So these are just different demonstration of how many things you can do and how many things you can generate. This is generative design, procedural design, parametric design. And we're going to continue also in this other video to see some other options and some other ideas. And let's see some of these examples. So here I've imported a model from the outside, and then I just applied grid using, again, the generative mesh nodes that can help you to generate different patterns and then create an actual solid object. And then here I created a platform using extrusion and also a noise texture. So we can also use textures to model in addition to other tools that we saw before. And we already saw the application of the noise texture before, but we're going to do a little example. And also here we applied the noise into a kind of a structure which is made of hexagons and pentagons. And also here we use dual mesh, etc., etc. Now all of these can be then changed into something else just by going into the node. So if I turn off here, for example, dual mesh, I have another situation and another result. So every time I can just brainstorm, apply some nodes, and then turn them on and off to see what's going to happen here. Here I have subdivisions. I can increase or decrease the subdivision and have different results. And then also here I've created roof using, again, like a combination of nodes, like triangulate, subdivide, mesh, subdivision surface, etc., etc. And also, of course, you can use dual mesh. So if I apply dual mesh, I get a total different result. So again, it's just a combination of the mesh geometry nodes. Also here I've done something else. I created a series of pillars, and then I connected the base and the top so that if I change in the edit mode, if I start to change the base here, I can also affect, let me change, for example, here. I only have this edge, but you can see if I put down this edge, is going to affect the way those pillars are inside these two other elements. So I connected the base of the pillars to the floor, and also I connected the top of the pillars with the roof. So if I change again, here you can see the roof is just, let me use the face selection. You can see the roof, it began with a really simple shape, and then it was like extruded, and that face becomes all that grid with the structure, etc., thanks to the nodes that we learned to use lesson by lesson. So if I move up this face, I'm actually moving up all the resulting procedural generative design and also the pillars as well. So again, if you having problems also with this video, check the previous lessons, because this is a like end to our course. So if you're having problems, you just want to go back and see some simpler lessons. First of all, let's get an object from Sketchfab, and in this case I search for here all time, and then CC0 license, categories, cars and vehicles, and I found this really simple model here. So you can download it, and that's the author right there. So you can download it. You need to sign in with your account, and you can download it in FBX format. So here he has, you can see it's public domain and has FBX. So it's just a simple example to see how you can apply generative design again in Blender. So go to File, Import, and FBX, and I save this into this. You need to extract this from the folder that you're going to download. And here I changed the scale to 100 to make it okay, the right size. And just wait. I'm gonna delete this cube here, and I don't actually need the camera and the light as well. So, and we have a bunch of lines, but you can turn them off here in the extras and relation lines. Be careful not to turn off the selection, otherwise you cannot see the selected object. Okay, delete all the little pieces that float around and go to the wireframe mode. So you can see the structure. The structures is really important when you generate something. Again, we talk about this in other lessons because this is the base on which you're gonna model. For example, if I want to create here a floor, I go to Add Mesh Plane, and this plane is based on one single face. So this is something that is going to use only 4 points. So if you want something more complex, you just need to go here in edit mode and select the face, right click and subdivide, so you have 4 faces, and then subdivide again, etc., etc. And these will change things when you will define your structure. So it's really important. So this is going to be our floor, and let's copy this also for the roof. And well, we can start to make the pillars right away. So let's go in geometry node and start with the base. Okay, and here we can start to add some subdivisions. So you can subdivide before you actually go into the nodes or when you are into the nodes. Visualize that. You go here and activate the wireframe. Now I'm going to create some space between the input and the output. And here we're going to start with distributing the points on the faces. Okay, so you can see we are using the bottom and we are creating a lot of points. So we can make it Poisson and define a distance. I'm going to put 2. And well, maybe I can increase it, but we can change this later. It's generative design, so we can always change it. And let's keep it as it is for the moment. And now what we want to do is project these points onto a roof. So we're going to use a Raycast node. Raycast, it will let you project things on another object. Okay, so the target geometry is going to be the roof. So I'm going to take the roof, I'm going to drag it and drop it in here, and this is going to be our target. To position those points, we need to set a position node. So we're going to take those points and we're going to use the it position here in the position. So right now we are projecting, but we are projecting downwards. If you want to go upward, you change the ray direction to 1. Ray length is fine, 10 meters, because it needs to be higher than the position of your roof. And then be careful here, instead of original in the object info we inserted, we need to put relative. To bring back the floor, we can now join the 2 geometry that we created so far. So let's join and put the join geometry here and take the base. So now we have the base of those points. Now we need other points down here and create the pillars in between with the curves. So that's a little bit more tricky. And for that, we're going to use a proximity. Now, if you go to Add